15 things you should give up to be happy. When PurposeFairy.com founder posted a list of things to let go in order to be happy, she had no idea that it would go viral, shared more than 1.2 million times and counting. Based on that inspiring post, this heartfelt book gives readers permission to give up. That is, to let go of the bad habits that are holding them back from achieving authenticate happiness and living their best lives. Simple yet wise, and informed by the author's own inspiring personal journey, this little book presents a fresh twist on happiness advice. Take a step back to reflect and give yourself permission to let things go. Chapter 3. Give up your limiting beliefs. It's not the events of our lives that shape us, but our beliefs as to what those events mean. Tony Robbins. My story. Even though I have always feared my father, and even though whenever he was at home, I would try my best to run and hide away from him, deep down inside, I had always hoped that one day he was going to change. I had always hoped that maybe one day he was going to come home and start treating me and my family with the love, kindness, and compassion we all deserved. But he never did. My father died before any of these things could happen. He died and left me thinking that there was something seriously wrong with me, and that the reason why he couldn't love me wasn't because he was incapable of love, but because of this something that was wrong with me. He couldn't love me because I wasn't a lovable person. And I carried this dreadful and toxic belief with me for years and years, thinking that I was to blame for everything that had happened in the past, and thinking that if my own father couldn't love me, nobody ever would. I physically almost couldn't open my mouth to talk to anyone about all the pain and sadness that I had been accumulating in my heart for a long time. I didn't have the courage to share my thoughts, struggles, and inner turmoil with anyone. And so I carried a heavy burden with me, believing that I was all alone and that nobody was ever going to love me, that nobody was ever going to understand me or care about me. Years of conditioning made me acquire very limiting beliefs, and one of them was that I was not worthy of being cared for. This belief was so firmly part of my mindset that one day I was surprised by an incident in school. "What's happening to you?" I heard my history teacher say to me one day. when I was mentally checked out. I snapped back to reality, looked around me, and saw the eyes of classmates gazing back at me as I sat at my desk. Your grades are very low. Do you realize that if you continue like this, you risk failing the class? You risk repeating the entire year. If you don't study, you are going to have to repeat 5th grade. Is that what you want? It took me a while to reply. I was too confused by the fact that she was showing any interest at all in me and my school situation. She cared, and it stung me, because up to that point, I had believed nobody cared. No, I don't want that, I said to her, even though I didn't really mean it. I don't want to repeat the year. Lessons in letting go. The moment you doubt whether you can fly, you cease forever to be able to do it. Living in an environment where there always seems to be an abundance of painful and traumatic experiences, but a lack of happy and loving ones. I developed from a very young age all kinds of limiting beliefs about life being hard, about me not being good enough, smart enough, worthy enough, or beautiful enough. When my father died, thinking that I was all alone and feeling overwhelmed by everything that had happened to me up until that moment, I didn't really seem to care about anything or anyone anymore. Probably because I believed that nobody cared about me either. But I was wrong. I had to go through many challenges, and I had to inflict a lot of pain on those around me and myself. Before I finally understood that people were treating me the way I was expecting to be treated, that life was giving me that which I was feeling worthy of receiving. So I had to learn to cleanse my mind. I had to change the way I was thinking, and I had to let go of many of my old and toxic beliefs so that I could make room in my life for new, healthy, positive, and empowering beliefs. Beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies. They shape our life. They make us who we are. And if we really want to create a better life for ourselves and for those we love, we have to make sure that the beliefs we hold on to are serving us well, and that they aren't sabotaging our happiness, health, and well-being. We create our lives with our thoughts. We shape our lives based on the beliefs we have. if our beliefs are limiting and negative, so will our lives be. Life doesn't discriminate. Life gives you the things, people, and experiences you feel worthy and deserving of receiving. Life treats you the way you expect to be treated, the way you believe you deserve to be treated. And as long as you perceive and believe that you are unworthy and undeserving of the many wonderful and precious gifts life has to offer you, life will prove you right. Rosanna, a young woman who wrote to me recently, told me how she was always reminded by her mother of the fact that all men are cheaters and liars, and that no matter how honest, transparent, loving, and respectful you are toward them, they will still lie to you. With this limiting belief deeply engraved in her mind, Rosanna unknowingly started attracting in life exactly this type of man. He went from relationship to relationship, each one ending for the same reason. She was cheated on. After a while, she began to question whether the man's behavior had anything to do with her own personal beliefs and expectations. With this question constantly weighing on her, she decided to play a trick on her mind. Wherever she would catch herself thinking that all men are cheaters and liars, she would immediately shift her focus to new thoughts. Men are loyal, trustworthy, loving, and respectful. She kept repeating this to herself day after day and month after month. And eventually, she began to see proof of this new belief all around her. And that is how she met her husband, a wonderful, loyal, and loving man, who was not only treat her as if she is the most beautiful and wonderful woman in the world, but also reinforcing the belief that men can be trusted, and that she truly has the power to change her mind and her life. It can be so easy to fall into the trap of believing that you and your past are one, and that if you were treated unfairly, then you will be treated unfairly now and in the future. It can be so easy to believe that your self-worth comes from your net worth, and that happiness comes from having big, shiny, expensive things, lots of them. It can be so easy to fall into the trap of believing that who you are is not good enough, smart enough, or deserving enough. It can be so easy to believe that if you have rich parents, it can only mean that you are smart and worthy of respect, love, and admiration, and that everyone around you is going to love and approve of you. It can be so easy to believe that being vulnerable talking about your thoughts and feelings and allowing yourself to be fully seen by those around you is an act of weakness, something to be ashamed about. It can be so easy to let others define you, to raise and lower yourself to the level of their expectations. But even though all of these things might be easy to do, it doesn't mean that we should continue to do them. The beliefs of the past don't have to be the same as the beliefs of the present. And they surely don't have to be the same beliefs we will have in the future. Change the quality of your beliefs, and the quality of your life will change too. The path to giving up. Tip 1. Thoughts have creative power. Watch your thoughts, for they become words. Watch your words, for they become actions. Watch your actions, for they become habits. Watch your habits, for they become your character. And watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. What we think, we become. Your thoughts have the power to lift you up or tear you down, to boost your self-esteem and improve your self-image and confidence, or lower your confidence, damage your self-image, and ruin your whole life. That's how powerful your thoughts are. And if you want to improve the quality of your life, if you want to let go of your many limiting beliefs and create healthier, more positive, and empowering ones, all you have to do is improve the quality of the thoughts you think and the words you speak. If there are limits in your mind, there will be limits in your life. If there is poverty thinking in your mind, there will be poverty in your life. If there is fear in your mind, fear will also be present in your life. For something to exist in the material world, it has to exist in consciousness first. The life you are now living is a result of your thinking. Everything was created with your thoughts. And just as everything was created with your thoughts, everything can also be changed by your thoughts. If you don't like something about yourself, about your life, or if you think there are some things that you can't do because you were told that they were impossible for you to achieve, all you have to do is correct the thoughts you think and the words you speak. By doing so, you will create new and healthier beliefs. that will later on give you the strength, courage, and confidence to start doing the things you once thought impossible. Beliefs that will make you realize impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they have been given than to exploit the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing. Impossible is nothing. What you think of yourself is everything. Change your thoughts, and you change your beliefs. Change your beliefs, and you can change your whole life. Tip 2. Choose one thought over another. A belief is only a thought that you keep thinking. So as you keep thinking this thought, you keep vibrationally attracting relative to that thought. So you confirm your own beliefs again, and again. That's why someone who believes in cancer can confirm that belief. Or someone who believes in robbery can confirm that belief. So everything is a sort of confirmation of belief. Don't let your mind trick you into thinking that just because you couldn't do something in the past, you will never be able to do something in the present or in the future. Always remember that there are no limits to who you can be, to what you can do, and to the life you can live. Accept those limits you yourself impose on yourself. No matter how deeply engraved in your mind your limiting beliefs may be, and no matter how long you have been holding on to them, becoming aware of the fact that your many limiting beliefs were once only thoughts that you kept thinking can make this whole process of letting go a lot easier. Life is a lot like a game. Once you learn the rules of the game, life seems to get a lot easier and you start to have a lot of fun. And the most important rule of the game is to pay close attention to the thoughts that run through your mind, and to make sure that you fill your mind with healthy, empowering, and positive thoughts. Healthy thoughts, healthy mind, healthy life. Just as you have learned to cling into all kinds of limiting beliefs about what you can do, be, and have many of the things you say you want to do, be, and have. In the same way, you can learn to let go of those beliefs and create healthier, more positive ones. Beliefs that will help you craft your life in a way you never thought was possible. By changing the thoughts that run through your mind, one by one, choosing positive thoughts over negative ones, in time you will end up giving up your old and limiting beliefs. All you have to do is pay close attention to your thoughts and slowly replace the negative ones with positive ones. Replace I can't with I can, impossible with I'm possible, I am unworthy with I'm worthy, and so on. Start small. Change one thought at a time, one limiting belief at a time. And as you get better and better at doing this, you will see how many of the things you once thought were impossible will soon enough become possible. And how many of the things, people, and experiences you once saw as being out of reach will very soon start manifesting in your life. As a single footstep will not make a path on the earth, so a single thought will not make a pathway in the mind. To make a deep physical path, we walk again and again. To make a deep mental path, we must think over and over the kind of thoughts we wish to dominate our lives. Tip 3. There is a genius in all of us. All children are born geniuses. Years ago, an incredible study was made at Harvard University called Project Zero, in which Howard Gardner, together with his colleagues, found that every child is born a genius across multiple intelligences, but that by the age of 20, the percentage of geniuses within a population has been whittled down to 10%. And over the age of 20, only 2% retain their genius ability. What this study did was prove that intelligence is not an inherited trait, nor is it something that only special people possess, but rather there is genius in each and every one of us. This is something you should never doubt. Something you should never forget. And even though at times your mind will try to convince you that there's nothing unique and special about you, you should never doubt that there truly is. You should never doubt that there is something in you that is unique, powerful, and of great value. That there is a beautiful reason for your existence and a great purpose for your life. Because there is. We are all born gifted. We are all born geniuses. There is something unique, valuable, and very precious in each and every one of us. We all have unique gifts and talents that are meant to be our gifts to the world. And by putting our fails, excuses, and limitations behind us, by making a commitment to ourselves to do the necessary work toward remembering who we truly are, and toward re-becoming the wonderful and precious beings we were born to be, we will be able to tap into these inner gifts and talents, reigniting our inner fire, rekindling our inner flame, and claiming back our genius and our personal power. And in time, we will be able to realize that who we are matters, and that the work we hold in on our hearts is of great value and of great importance. Tip 4. Who you are matters. If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets, even as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, "Here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well." There's no such thing as intelligent and less intelligent people. There is no such thing as worthy and unworthy people. There's no such thing as valuable and less valuable people. There's no such thing as people who can make the impossible possible and people who can't. There's no such thing as special and less special people. There are nothing but mind-created barriers and limitations. Limitations that are meant to keep us stuck in a very dark, lonely, and unhappy place. There's something unique and precious about each and every one of us. We are all valuable human beings. We are all intelligent and capable of achieving many beautiful and wonderful things. We each have a very important role to play in this world, and who we are matters. Who you are matters. What you know matters. Your unique gifts and talents matter. Your presence and your work matter. And And whether you believe it or not, the world needs you. We all have our own piece to contribute to this big puzzle called life. And if we choose to cling to all kinds of fears, excuses, and limitations, if we continue to settle for way less than we are worth, living a medical life, and always thinking that who we are is not enough, then this puzzle will never become complete. And we will never know what true happiness is really all about. The world needs you to be you, to do your part, and to play your role as beautifully as possible. So, put all your limitations aside, cleanse your inner vision, and start thinking in terms of I'm possible instead of impossible. Start thinking in terms of I'm worthy instead of I'm unworthy. Stop settling for way less than you are worth and allow the real you to shine. Unleash your inner power, your inner beauty and genius, and allow the world to see the real you. Cleanse yourself. Remove all the layers of mud that have been covering you for all this time. This mud representing all the limitations, all the bad programming, and all the negative past conditioning. And start living life from a place of love, truth, authenticity, and inner power. No longer from a place of fear and limitations. Tip 5. Imagine your way to be a better life. You possess what the rest of nature does not possess: imagination, the instrument by which you create your world. Your imagination is the instrument, the means whereby your redemption from slavery, sickness, and poverty is effected. If you refuse to assume the responsibility of the incarnation of a new and higher concept of yourself, then you reject the means, the only means, whereby your redemption, that is, the attainment of your idea, can be effected. Ask yourself, if there were no limits to what I can do, be, and have, how would my life look? How would your life look if there were no limits to who you could be, to what you could create? How would it feel to have the life you say you want to live? Play this game for a little while. Forget about what is. Forget about your dreadful and cruel, your fears, worries, and problems, and allow yourself to do the mental exercise for a little while. Allow yourself to feel in your body all the feelings that will come from having transcended your limitations and from having your dreams come true. Feel within you the feeling that will come from having all those wonderful things happen to you, and allow those feelings to become part of who you are. See in your mind's eye the life you would love to live, the person you want to become, and the relationships you want to have. See yourself being surrounded by beauty, love, wealth, and abundance, and allow yourself to be in that space, to know what it would be like to live a life without limits. Einstein once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited to all we now know and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world and all there ever will be to know and understand." And the truth of the matter is, imagination is your most precious and valuable gift, the instruments by which you create your world. And the more you learn to use this valuable gift, the better your life will get, and the happier you will become. Let your imagination run wild. Don't stop yourself. Don't limit yourself. Don't place any limits on yourself and on what you want to be, do, and have. And know that if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it. Understand that you weren't born to suffer, and you surely weren't born to live an unhappy and meaningless life. You were born to thrive, to let your own light shine, and to become the best you can be. You were born to thrive. Live your life in a spirit of confidence and determination. Disregard appearance, conditions, in fact, all evidence of your senses that deny the fulfillment of your desire. Rest in the assumption that you are already what you want to be. For in that determined assumption, you and your infinite being are merged in creative unity. And with your infinite being, all things are possible. Claim yourself to be the thing desired. Change your perception of yourself, your state of conscience, and claim yourself to be that which you want to be, do, and have. Because by doing so, you will start to attract into your life the right thoughts, people, and environment. And eventually, all the things that you once saw in your mind's eye will be materializing in the external world. If you want things to be moving in a new direction, if you want to make some change for the better in your life, if you want to see your world change, you need to work on becoming that which you want to experience in the physical world. Give up your limitations. Put aside all your thoughts about how you are supposedly flawed, unworthy, or undeserving of anything good. And soon enough, you will discover that you too have something very special and valuable thing to offer to those around you and to yourself. You too are special.